Hi guys! As you can see, I have shaved my left side of my head. So that obviously means that my HSCT date is getting close. So, I know I haven't been vlogging once again for a while, but that has been due to me being busy and just sorting things out for my trip. And the good news is that I am going to pick up my visa, which has been issued a couple of days or week ago. I'm going to pick up my visa, so that's a good thing. I didn't have any problems with my visa application, so that is one less thing to worry about before my trip to Moscow. And I have also already started gathering my things from my packing list, just so that I don't have to get every single thing on my list last minute before my departure. I have been thinking a lot about the treatment in itself, and I still have mixed feelings, and I probably have discussed this in one of my previous vlogs as well. But I continue to have mixed feelings about this treatment. Of course, there will always be this question mark in the back of my mind. What if the treatment won't give me the best benefit? What if the treatment fails? What if I die? What if I develop a sepsis in early phase of the recovery? What if I don't feel well enough to eat most of the days during the treatment? Or what if the chemo is too much to take? What if? Well, that is no use, because the only option is for me to go through this treatment and face all the phases and stages of the treatment to my best ability and try to be well prepared. And all of those things like exercising and trying to build some more muscle tissue and try to eat healthy and try to do physical therapy if required and just stay healthy without any infections. All of those things are part of preparing yourself for the treatment. And of course, physical and mental health, they both play equally important role as part of the whole HSCT process. So mentally, I think I need some more preparations and more thinking and more maybe talking to people who are supporting me, because it will be a scary thing to be in Russia basically alone, because I won't have the difficult days. I will be having my chemo and my transplant and the FRSs when my stem cells are going to be drawn from my peripheral blood stream. All of those times, even the most part of the isolation, being isolated, I naturally have to be all by myself. So no physical contact is allowed. Of course, I'm happy that I'm going to be meeting new people, probably make new friends, people who are going to be there at the same time in the facility, coming from other countries, foreign patients. I am happy to meet all of those people and maybe just connect with them, and I think that will make my stay in the hospital much less unpleasant and most likely a tolerable and easy, relatively easy journey to go through. So I just feel that I need to think positive, and positive thinking is always beneficial, since your mind and your symptoms go somewhat hand in hand. And when you have negative feelings and negative thinking, and you're just being pessimistic and just have the worst case scenarios constantly in your mind, it's always on your mind. It's better to switch that kind of thinking into a more positive and optimistic thinking, since the negative path will most likely have some sort of also bad effect on your MS symptoms and other sensory symptoms. So I feel that I am almost ready to face it, but I must admit that these past 6 months that have gone by since I got the confirmation for my HSCT date, those months have flown by so fast, and I can only imagine how fast the following 54 days will go by. So I'm pretty excited, but also very, very afraid when it comes to the future treatment in Russia. But since I know the facility, as I've always been trusting them, of course, but I feel that I will be in good hands. And although there will be some kind of language barrier and maybe a cultural barrier as well, but I have all the faith, and just try to focus on the main thing, which is getting better and kicking, of course, the MS in the butt. There are, of course, a couple of other things that also just draw my attention, or just things that I just somehow question or am worried about, like my lymphocyte count being not yet within the normal reference range, since I had my Lemtrada dose last May, and that wiped almost all my lymphocytes, part of my white blood cells down, and it has taken quite a few months for my lymphocytes to bounce back to the normal range, and I'm very optimistic and hopeful that my lymphocytes will be completely back to normal just right before I will be starting my MS treatment, because it's not advisable and not, of course, recommended that you will be already immunocompromised when you are starting the treatment that will be obviously once again kill your immune system. So I hope I will have the time, and my immune system will have the time to recover before being wiped out again, before being rebooted. Yeah. So that is one thing that I'm still a bit hesitant and a bit unsure about, but I'm sure that my body will heal itself, and my cells, my lymphocytes will get the hint. I also am a bit of stressed about the pre-testing that is going to be a natural and a very necessary part of the HSCT process. The first days when I'm going to be in Russia, there will be some pre-testing. The facility, the doctors need to be absolutely 100, 100, 200, 1000% sure that I and my body will be fit to go through the HSCT, since all the chemo and all all the parts that are required for the transplantation. So that, and also of course that the whole treatment will be useful and it will be worth, since it's no use to treat patients that have would ever have benefits from the treatment. So sometimes the risks outweigh the benefits, and vice versa. So that is something, it's definitely something that doctors need to take into account. Of course, I'm a bit nervous, and I think every person undergoing the pre-testing before as a normal procedure and a standard before HSCT must be very nervous, and I of course should prep my English, because that will be the only language for communication at the location. Since English is obviously not my native language, I should really do some. So yes, I should definitely brush up my English and also just learn at least the basics of Russian language. I hope it wasn't once again too confusing, that I just tried to offer and express some of the main things that have been going on lately, and the most important things that are just relevant before before leaving for Russia. But in the beginning of next year, I think I will be very, very busy, as I have been so far, since there are so many things that you have to consider, and as in this vlog I mentioned a few, but there are so many more things to think about before leaving for a foreign country to undergo a massive treatment. This was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope that next time I will find a subject or very useful thing, because now this was a bit of about everything that is current right now. So next time I hope that I will be talking about something more specific. So anyways, if you watch this, thank you very much. If you donated, if you like to donate, I am so thankful, and just hope to see you next time. Bye bye.